So the debate over banning TikTok in the United States or any other country is multifaceted, involving considerations of national security, privacy, mental health, freedom of expression. It's important to note that calling for a ban on any platform is a significant action that requires careful consideration of its implications. But here are 10 reasons that I believe in and are often cited by those who support banning TikTok in the US. TikTok is owned by the Chinese company ByteDance and is being fiercely criticized by many who argue that it poses a threat to national security due to its potential to share data with the Chinese government. And now we've all known, we've all heard that all Chinese companies are required by law at any time to share data and allow access to the Chinese government to their information. So is this a big reason? Yes, and it's probably a primary one. I mean, there's been growing apprehension about the data collection practices of the popular social media platform. I mean, the concern is that this platform may collect sensitive personal information from the millions of American users, such as their location, browsing history, and their contacts. And this information could definitely potentially be used for unauthorized access or misuse. Putting privacy and security of these users at risk, the concern is particularly high given that TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, which has raised questions about the potential for the foreign government to access or exploit sensitive information. There is concern that the platform will be used for foreign influence campaigns, the spread of misinformation, and interfering in the political process, manipulating public opinion. To be fair, this is done on all social media platforms, and not just by the platform, but by various governments, agencies, corporations, anybody who has an interest in a particular candidate getting in somewhere. Normally they call it lobbying or campaigning, but it's particularly of concern when a foreign government who you are constantly at odds with has this ability and such easy access to manipulate. I mean, people worry about the potential for the Chinese government to influence or control the content that appears on TikTok. Now, there's no direct proof or evidence of this. However, the censoring topics or viewpoints that are critical to China do seem to sometimes be banned and removed from the application. TikTok, like many other social media platforms, has been subject to criticism regarding its design, which is often considered to be highly addictive. Now, this feature may result in a negative mental health impact on users, especially among teenagers and young adults. And these negative effects, they may include a lack of focus and a decrease in productivity and a potential decrease in self-esteem, among other things. We have to look out for those that can't look out for themselves. And it makes no difference whether it be an actual drug you take to get you messed up or an application designed to manipulate you and alter your brain and make you addicted to it so they can manipulate the way you think. You know what they say, an addict is an addict. Now, they've also faced great criticism for their handling of cyberbullying, hate speech, and harmful content that can negatively impact the user's well-being. Now, many people are expressing concern about the safety of young users who are using the platform. These concerns are primarily related to privacy, as young users may not fully understand the implications of sharing personal data and information online. There is also a worry that younger viewers may be exposed to inappropriate content, which could be harmful to their mental health and emotional well-being. And if anybody has spent an hour or even 20 minutes cruising around on TikTok, you're going to know that that's true. And furthermore, there is that potential for exploitation. I mean, as young users may not have the maturity or the experience to recognize and avoid these disastrous situations. So in order to ensure the safety of all users, it is important to take steps to minimize these risks and provide adequate support and resources for the younger users. And now critics also argue that TikTok does not do enough to moderate content, allowing the massive spread of misinformation, violence, and illegal activities, that they are not concerned with the well-being of the users of their app. They're only concerned about the information they can mine from these users and the control they can gain over them. And now there are fears that TikTok can be used as a tool of economic espionage. I mean, the collection of valuable data on American businesses and innovations that would benefit the competitors. Information that they can then sell off and create counterfeit of almost any product out there because they have easy access to your phone, which everybody has connected to everything else they go near or touch or use. Make no mistake, people, your phones are not secure, and nobody reads the terms of service on these apps when they click OK and allow them access to everything. And now some also worry about the broader cultural and societal impacts of TikTok. I mean, arguing that it promotes superficiality and it disrupts traditional values and contributes to the decline in attention spans and critical thinking skills. Now, clearly that is obvious as hell. If anybody has talked to anybody these days under 25, they can't focus more than 30 seconds. They can't think critically and make decisions on their own. And that's just an age thing in today's world, let alone an app that is creating these problems for them. So I have to say, it is essential that we balance these concerns with the values of freedom of expression and the potential benefits of platforms like TikTok. But we don't need one that is controlled by a foreign adversary. I mean, because some of these apps, yes, they are great and do include creative expression, community building, and economic opportunities for the creators. However, we have to look at who owns and controls these apps and the information they're accessing and what they're doing with it. Any decision to ban a platform should be based on a thorough search, legal considerations, and careful weighing of the pros and cons. And I've just listed 10 reasons why the TikTok should go. And as far as I'm concerned, bye-bye.